This shoulder mobility workout is to regain range of motion and strength. And you can use these 12 exercises for rehabilitation. So right now I'm just doing shoulder rolls, up, back, and down. So you're gonna wanna do all these exercises with me, and we're gonna do 15 repetitions of each. And if you have any pain, stop. You want to go before the pain. When you're doing rehab, if you've had an injury, you don't want to do the the mantra, go hard to go home, or you gotta feel the pain to get stronger, because it actually can be counterproductive. Your body will stop you if you've been injured, and it may even clamp down your shoulders even more. All right, so that was your warm-up. Next exercise is rows. We're going to just use our own body weight. We're just gonna pull, and we're working the back. Now, I've injured both my shoulders, and I've found that you can actually work your back muscles. So my first injury, I was doing flies on a bench, and I was holding a 25-pound weight, and my shoulder was somewhat compromised, and I actually didn't realize it, and I extended too far on the bench with these 25-pound weights in each hand, and my arm flipped backwards, and it touched the ground. It was still on the ground, and I was still holding the weight. It took a year and a half to rehabilitate that shoulder, and I followed the advice of all the physical therapists that I worked with, and they said only do specific exercises. So what happened was my shoulders atrophied, my arms became flabby. It was just so ugly. And so I just want to let you know that you can still get stronger and gain muscle and even strength even if you're injured. Let's do a front raise. So this might be a little bit challenging, but only go to where your body allows you. So we're only going to go to the shoulder height. And what we're going to do is we're going to do thumb up, because if you're going to do this way, it's probably going to bother your shoulder if it's injured. So just thumb up, a little bend in the knees, that'll help the back. So if you can only go to here, go to here. If it hurts at this point, when you raise it up, just go to here. So first, you just want to try these just with no weight, just to let your body know you're going to be gentle with it. And then when you're more comfortable, you can grab your hand weights, and you always want to start light. Even if you're not injured, when you're doing weights, you want to start light to warm up, let your body know what you're doing, and you're not going to harm it, and then it will let you lift a little heavier when you're ready. So you're going to do 15 of these, and again, please work out with me. It's much more fun, and you're going to get stronger doing it. Okay, so as long as those feel good, and it's okay if one arm's here and one arm's here, just go at the level that your body allows you to. Next one we're gonna do might be a little bit more challenging if you had frozen shoulder, also known as adhesive capsulitis, which is what I had. So all you're gonna do is you're going to look up, keep the knees a little bent, pretend there's a rope right here. You're gonna grab it and gently bring it down, release. Other arm up and down. So if you can only go to here, when I had my frozen shoulder, this is as high as I could go to when it was in the frozen stage. So just take one arm as high as you can. So let's say this is your arm that's uninjured and you can go up, fine. And this is your other arm and you can only go to here, just go here. So it's like this. So you're still moving it, you're still being gentle with it. And I want you to do 15 of these rope pull downs, and then maybe you'll get a little bit more range of motion, and then you can bring it back up. So you know how when you go to rehab, they have you walk up? That can be a little too harsh. My body did not like that at all. It was so boring. It was awful. So we've got 3 stages of frozen shoulder. We've got the freezing stage where you may be up here and then it slowly freezes about here and then you can't go any higher than that. And you got the frozen stage where you're just stuck. You just can't move. And then you have the thawing phase where it slowly, over about 6 months, allows you to get full range of motion, or mostly. And sometimes people don't get the complete full range of motion, and so we just work at it by using these exercises. Let's do a chest press. So if you have a TheraBand, grab it. There are 3 different strengths. We've got the yellow, which is the lightest. We've got the red, which is your medium strength. And then you have the green, which is nice and strong. So for this one, I'm going to use medium. So you can do chest exercises as long as there's no pain if you have shoulder injuries. So pain is an indication that your body is saying no, and you got to listen to it because sometimes you can make it worse. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it to about here. I'm not going to go too close, and get the hair out of the way. So now, making sure it's even, thumb up, and then press. If it's too much, just loosen and go a little bit looser, so less range of motion. So what we're mimicking right now is a chest press. We're working the chest and working the triceps right here. And if that feels fine, choke it up a little bit and press a little bit more. So you might want to wear gloves because it does kind of pull against the skin, or just loosen it up a little bit, or use the lighter band. So I'm bending my knees, so I'm not going to arch my back. A lot of people lean back. You can do a staggered stance, which means one foot is behind the other foot, which will help with posture and prevent you from going backwards. So you want to do a minimum of 15 repetitions. We might be doing a few more than that, but that's okay. And you want to do 3 sets. We're just going to do 1 today. All right, and see how many. It feels good. Yeah, I love these. So much fun. Okay, let's do band pull apart. So we just worked the chest and the triceps, so let's work the back. So on this one, let's grab the lighter band. So I've used this so many times, it's shorter, it broke. But it actually broke at the perfect spot, so it's just the right length. Okay, so move my hair out of the way. So you can do your staggered stance if you want. You can do all of these in a chair if you'd like. And then all I'm going to do is going to bring it right across the front of my chest. And then check your wrists so they're not bent like that. That's bad for the wrist. So make sure it's neutral, it's in line, it's not this way, it's not this way. Good posture, and then you'll see I'm doing a little bit of an isometric hold when it hits my chest. That means it's, just think of it as a little pause. That's good for strength. And let's do, I think it was about 5, let's do 10 more. So 10, I'm gonna do the staggered stance. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep tension on it the whole time so it's not slack. 2, and 1. So you don't have to be injured to do these band pull-aparts. They're a great exercise for everyone for the back. And back of the shoulders too. The upper back and the back of the shoulders. That's what it works. Now let's do something called scarecrows. So you're gonna put your arms out like this and make sure it's at 90 degrees. So take a little peek and check to make sure you're at 90. So not here, here. Pull back and then make sure your hands are at 92. So take a look at those. Make sure that people tend to bring them in here. Nope, it's here. So side angle. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna flip it up and down. So you may only be able to do maybe here. That's okay. And then check out, look in the mirror too when you do these. This will help. So if you're at the gym, which is great, you can do these in the mirror, or at home, just take a peek in your mirror and do some of these. So we're gonna do a couple without any weight, and I'll show you what it looks like with weight. So let's do 3, 4, 5, 6, check to make sure you're in line, 7, 8, 9, 10, and shoulder roll that out. Now with weights, start with your lightest weights. Even if you have 1 pound, that's fine. These are really tough. All right, I'm gonna do my staggered stance again. Check my position. Let's see if we can do 10. This is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is working the back of the shoulders. And you notice we were at this height, we weren't higher. So you might be able to do this, no problem. When you have muscles that have been atrophied, so when I started training after not using any of my upper body muscles at all for a year and a half, they were so atrophied that working out those muscles was actually painful because my body had no idea what I was doing. So it's really hard to distinguish between pain and exercise that's working the muscles when they've been inactive for a really, really long period of time. So if a sharp pain is something that you definitely want to stop, but if it's dull, just see if you can shake it out. All right, so, or if you don't have, if these are easy and you don't have weights, you can use your TheraBand. So for this, actually you should use your lighter band. You could try it this way and see if you can do it this way, okay? For those scarecrows. And start light for those. All right, so now we have the band. So let's do some external rotation. So I'm going to show you with the band and without. Actually, I'm going to show you without first. So on this one, I'm going to have my palms up, and I'm just going to do an external rotation. Works the back of the shoulders and the upper back. So these should be not too bad. Just go ahead and go slow, a little tiny squeeze. Then if you're comfortable, you can grab your weights and do the same thing. I like these. These feel good. And then check the wrists. Make sure they're not like this, neutral position. And then let's try it with the band, which is actually my favorite way of doing these. So I'll show you with the stronger band. And then from here, whoo, all right, maybe that's, this band's really tough. So maybe I should try the red one. So I'm making sure it's even, so making sure the tension's even. Oh, that's better, yeah. And even this, I mean, this is tough. So I gotta keep checking my wrists so they don't tweak, because I've got skinny little wrists and they get aggravated easily. And then this knuckle here gets pretty swollen. So if you're doing stretching, or if you're having someone stretch you, make sure when they pull, they're pulling between the joints. So if someone, like let's say you have shoulder, an elbow injury, and they're stretching this out, make sure they're grabbing here on the forearm to pull, not the hand. If they pull on the hand, they're going to aggravate this joint. So that's something for you to think about too. So if you're stretching, something like that, right? Okay, let's do the next exercise. So this one might be a little bit tough. So you're going to stand up on this one. So if you're putting on a jacket or a shirt, something long sleeve is really hard to do. You know, you're putting that in, you got to do this internal rotation. So we're going to do a gentle internal rotation. Your back of your hands, and it's going to tap your butt. Okay, like this. So from the side. So just going very, very gentle. If it bothers you, shake, and then maybe just hit here. And then see if you can go a little bit further back. You can do your staggered stance. And then see how high you can go. And eventually, we want to see if we can go pretty high. This is pretty advanced, so you might be here. And then make sure your shoulders are not rounded. They're back and down. And then just tap. All right? Great. So if you have limited range of motion or you've got compromised strength, your body will try to help you. So other muscles will be recruited. The problem with that is you're going to be completely unbalanced. So this is the shoulder that I injured most recently, and it is the capsule shrunk. So the bone is in this tight capsule, so I have limited range of motion. So this trap says, oh, you want to go up here? Let me help you out. So this trap is overactive, and what happens is it pulls on my neck, and I have this neck pain. And so what I can do is keep that trap depressed. So I've got a huge band here. This is amazing. So this is from NT Loop, and I can link this. They have different ones. They have a red one too, but I think this big one's really great. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to climb into it. Now this does not hurt. It actually feels really good. The trap says, I can rest, and then I can grab my weight or whatever I've got, and I can do the different exercises. So I can do my front raises, but this one's also great for a lateral raise, like this one. So let's do these together. So let's do 15. See, I've got a bent elbow. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That felt so good. Okay, so I'm going to climb on out of there, put this aside, and then I'm going to do the other side. So this trap is fine. This shoulder has more range of motion. Even though I injured both shoulders, this one gives me a lot of problems. So this one I'm going to do. So I'm going to do one at a time, and that is good because that way you're really concentrating on one side. Let's do 10 more, and 10, 9, 8, 7. You can do it this way too. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So with our shoulder injuries, and also from sitting at our desks and looking at our phones, we tend to have this forward motion, which is so bad for the back, the shoulders, the cervical spine, posture. Then you end up with back pain. So shoulders back and down, and then we're going to do a nice pec stretch. Open this up, hands behind the low back. So you just go as far as you can. So if you're just here, that's okay. Eventually, maybe you can touch and then maybe interlace and push the chest out. And then when you have more range of motion, maybe you can raise it up a little bit. But to start this low stretch, so you can release, touch if you like. Just go to where your body allows you to. All right, shoulder roll that out. So I'm going to show you another exercise. So the last one, we're going to go down on the ground into a plank position. And from here, so a plank, I'm going to have my feet wide. That'll help me with my balance. So from here, I'm putting pressure on the shoulders and I'm working the shoulders. So make sure you're not dipping, okay? That's bad form. If this is too much, just go to the knees. But I don't want you to go on the kneecaps. That's not good for the knees. So I'm actually not on the knees. I'm right above the knees. So you can try this. And you can just hold this. And from here, you can try taps. So from here, you might want to, and this helps your core to tap, tap. Now I'm going to show you as a plank from here. And you can just do tap and then tap. Now squeeze your butt. And this, because you don't want to roll up. You don't want to rock. You don't want to do this. You want to keep everything tight, slow and controlled, and tapping the shoulder. And another one that you can do, if that's too much, that's okay, you can skip it. And then I want you to try this one. So this one, we're going to do scapular rotation, but first we're going to try, you're just going to go up and down, you sink, up and down. Now, if you have limited range of motion, this might be really tough, and your movement may be so small that it feels like you're not doing anything. But it is doing something. Just try it, and then over a couple weeks, you'll get more and more range of motion. You'll say, wow. So when you first do this, you can just go into tabletop. So if we're gonna let me move my hair out of the way so you can see my shoulders. So when you first do this, you might be like bending the elbow. And that's okay because you're trying your best, and eventually you'll be able to go up and down. And you can do this against a wall if you like, if you don't like going on the floor. And then if you like, you can also do these rotations up, back and down. And so you could actually stand and just do this against the wall. Just do a couple more. And then if you can do a child's pose, which is a good stretch. If you can, you may not be able to reach out. So you may be here, and then maybe walk the fingers, but you can. If you can do that, and then slowly walk back. So when you're injured, it's really important to go light and go slow so that your body knows that you're not going to hurt it further. So make sure you do 15 repetitions at least. You want to do 3 sets, and you want to do it at least 3 times a week. And you don't want to not move that arm. Your body is meant to move. And if you have access to the gym, try the assisted pull-up machine. That is the best piece of equipment when it comes to rehabilitating your shoulders, because one, you're pulling up, you're reaching up, and then you're pulling your body down. You're moving that entire upper body. You're actually working your core. So if you have access to a gym, definitely try that machine twice a week. I have other videos on YouTube specifically for frozen shoulder stretches, rehab. I have a TheraBand shoulder workout that you might want to check out. And I've got another one that's really great. It is ball walkouts, specifically designed to get your shoulders stronger and your core. So I'll put the link in the comments below so you can go right to those videos. So let me know if you liked this workout. Let me know if you have any questions. I know how horrible frozen shoulder adhesive capsulitis is. I've had it both times with both shoulders, a total of 3 years of being in pain and being injured. It was really awful, but I can do everything that I used to do with now that I know the right exercises to do, and then I am continually moving my shoulders and my upper body. If you need help with weight loss, check out my dairy-free diet book and program. It's called the High Five Diet. It also will help reduce cancer and autoimmune disease. So check those out, and I hope to see you soon.